Hello everyone, you are now watching Muslim Logic Fail number 1. Today we'll be responding to a very special YouTuber named Adam Saleh, because you see, Adam here is on a jihad. Oh yes he is. He is on a jihad to dumb down the YouTube community, with videos like this one, 7 mind-blowing miracles of Allah. So he's kinda like Matthew Santoro, but Muslim and wearing a snapback.
So I'm gonna start and tell you guys 7 miracles of Allah. Number 1, Allah's name in Arabic, which looks like this, is on Africa. It's literally written on Africa. When I went to Google and I looked up the 3D globe Earth, if you go on Africa and look closely, you will see Allah's name.
Adam, are you familiar with the word pareidolia? It's this psychological phenomenon where the mind perceives an image or pattern where it doesn't actually exist. For example, seeing a rabbit in the clouds, a grumpy cat in an apple, a person's face on Mars, or thinking Italy looks like a boot. There was actually a study on pareidolia published in 2012 with a very interesting conclusion. It found that people who are religious or believe in the paranormal are more vulnerable to pareidolia than atheists or skeptics are, which could explain why a lot of pareidolia cases involve Jesus, the Virgin Mary, Mother Teresa, or the devil. So even if a part of Africa looks like Allah's name, it doesn't mean it was put there by some miracle. It's only your mind playing tricks on you. But because you have this faith in Allah, you're now trying to give meaning to things that aren't even there.
I went on so many globes and I still seen Allah's name on it.
Well, no shit, Adam. They're all pictures of the same planet. Except Allah's name is not there. You know what? I'll play along. Let's go on Google Earth and zoom into North Africa. Now, let's fill in the darker parts of the image.
Number 2, on your right hand, which I just outlined with a pen, is the number 18 in Arabic. This is the number 1 in Arabic, and this is the number 8 in Arabic, which is 18. And on your left hand is the number 81 in Arabic. This is the number 8 in Arabic, and that's the number 1 in Arabic, which is 81. If you add up 18 and 81, it equals to 99, which is the number of Allah's beautiful names that appear in the Quran. And if you subtract 18 from 81, that equals to 63. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, passed away at the age of 63.
Alright, well first of all, Adam, have you ever heard of this thing called a coincidence? Did you know that both presidents Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy were shot in the back of the head while sitting next to their wives? Both were shot by a man with 3 names, John Wilkes Booth and Lee Harvey Oswald. Both killers' names were also 15 letters long. 15 divided by 3 is 5, and both presidents were shot on a Friday, the 5th day of the week. Both Booth and Oswald were shot and killed before their trial too. Abraham Lincoln was shot in Ford's Theater, and Kennedy was shot in the Lincoln Continental, which was made by Ford. The point, Adam, is that you can find coincidences anywhere. There are far more parallels between the assassinations of Lincoln and JFK than there are between your hands and Islam. But something tells me you're not going to start praying to Lincoln and JFK now, are you? Not to mention the fact that your hands are full of multiple other lines, so where do they fall into your supposed miracle? What is their hidden meaning?
Everyone has Arabic numbers on their hands.
Except not everyone has those numbers, Adam. For example, some people's lines don't connect, giving them 3 ones. Or, some people have what's called a simian line, which makes them only have an 8. So your miracle only works if you ignore the other kinds of hands out there.
Number 3, there is a tree in Australia that is doing a rak'ah, like it's praying. Literally, there's a tree in Australia that's doing a rak'ah that's like this.
Hey Adam, there's a tree in the world that's giving the finger. Literally, there's a tree in the world that's giving the finger, which is like this. There are also trees giving blowjobs and fucking in various positions and flashing their massive wood. Is your mind blown yet?
And the amazing thing is that the tree is making ruku', is facing towards the Kaaba, which is, we pray facing the Kaaba, and the tree is facing the Kaaba, which is really, really amazing.
Here's another word you may not be familiar with, Adam. Arbor sculpture. There are several different methods that people can use to shape trees into pretty much whatever design they want. So a person modifying a tree to bend in a certain direction really wouldn't be that difficult. And even if that tree did form that way naturally, so what? There are tons of bent trees all over the world, so it's no surprise that at least one of them would face the Kaaba. However, do you even have proof this tree is facing that direction? Because I have yet to find any whatsoever.
If I ever go to Australia, I need to visit that tree. It looks so dope.
Most people visit Australia for the Sydney Opera House, the Great Barrier Reef, and the Outback. Adam wants to go there for a bent tree.
Number 4, there was a tsunami in Indonesia in 2004, and everything was completely like destroyed and gone, other than the masjids over there. All you can see after the tsunami is the masjids just there and nothing being destroyed.
You know, it could be because they were built better and had stronger foundations, as the experts have explained. You see, Adam, when you actually try and research these things, instead of assuming they're miracles, you can usually find a very clear answer. Also, I love the bitter irony of this so-called miracle, which essentially implies that Allah let over 200,000 people die. I mean, hey, if you can get to a mosque, you're all good, but if for whatever reason you can't make it there on time, fuck you.
After that event happened, a lot of people converted to Islam. A lot of people were closer to Allah because they seen the power of Allah. Like, Allah's home is always protected. Allah's home is always protected.
Allah's home is always protected.
Number 5. This is a video of a baby that was crying, and once they put on Quran, it just started to be, feel really relaxed and just like calm down and take a nap and go to sleep. So cute. He's so cute.
Wow, relaxing music can help a baby relax? What a shock! It's not like there are tons of examples of babies being calmed down by other genres of music. Heck, there are even videos of babies being calmed by vacuum cleaners. So cute. So cute. So everyone, this is proof that you should worship your vacuum cleaner, because they will make babies stop crying. This is the kind of preschool reasoning Adam puts forth in his video. And yet, for some reason, over 66,000 people found this convincing. That is tragic.
Number 66666. This is a really unique one. The word dunya, which means world, and the word akhirah, which means hereafter, are written in the Quran 115 times. These words are like the opposite, and they're written the same amount, repeated 115 times in the Quran. The word devil and the word angel are repeated 88 times in the Quran.
88 times, huh? You know, it's funny you mention that number because it is quite popular among neo-Nazis. Because H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, 88 becomes HH, which is an abbreviation for Heil Hitler. Huh. Why is there a Hitler reference in your book, Adam? What makes this even more interesting is that Hitler was apparently pretty cool with Islam, aligning himself with Sunni Muslims like Grand Mufti Amin al-Husseini and Prime Minister Rashid Ali al-Gailani. At one point, Hitler even said, "The peoples of Islam will always be closer to us than, for example, France." But it goes even deeper than that. In Muslim-majority parts of the world, like Palestine and Turkey, Hitler's book, Mein Kampf, was a bestseller. So this is a sign from Allah that Muslims should all become Nazis. You see, people, this little pattern game Adam's playing is so easy. Anyone can play and make up whatever interpretation they want.
The word Jannah, which means heaven, and the word Nar, which means hell, are repeated in the Quran 77 times. The word woman and man are repeated 23 times in the Quran. The Prophet Isa and Adam both had no dad, and both of their names are repeated 25 times in the Quran, which is the same amount. Now tell me that isn't amazing.
Now, I'm honestly not sure whether or not Adam's numbers are accurate. I looked these words up on several different Islamic websites, but each one gave me a different answer, so I don't know. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that Adam is correct about these numbers. How is this evidence of Allah? Who's to say a normal human being could not consciously do this on their own? People hide Easter eggs in books, movies, music, and video games all the time. However, we don't treat them like miracles, so why treat a possible Easter egg in the Quran any differently?
Last but not least, number 7. This is my favorite one. In the Quran, Surah Al-Qamar, which means moon. If you count the verses from Surah Al-Qamar, moon, all the way to the end of the Quran, to Surah Al-Nas, that's 1,389 verses from Surah Al-Qamar, moon, all the way to the end. The year 1389 in the Islamic calendar is 1969 in the modern calendar. And in the year 1969, that's when Neil Armstrong went to the moon.
Well, I went on 5 different websites to verify this, and it seems like Adam is right. When you put in the date of the moon landing and convert that to the Muslim calendar, the number you get is in fact 1389. Don't get excited though, Adam, because there's one little thing you got wrong. When you add up the verses from the moon all the way to the end of the Quran, it actually totals to 1390. Not 1389. And sure, it's only off by 1, but it's still incorrect. 2 plus 2 equals 5, for example, while only being off by 1, is still wrong. If you have to cheat to make the miracle work, it's not much of a miracle now, is it? So overall, I'm not impressed. It's funny because if you read the Quran, it is full of miraculous stories. Ants can talk, the moon is split in half, and men are brought back to life. But when trying to find evidence of miracles in the real world, Adam has to scrape the bottom of the barrel. The only real miracle here is that a grown man living in a first world country with access to so much information could still fall for this garbage.